gun guide. In this video we're going to go over the M60 light machine gun. In my personal opinion, this is probably the worst light machine gun in the game, but that's not to say that it's terrible or not viable. Just I think the other ones are more reliable weapons to use. I completed everything in Hardcore Nuketown, but as previously stated in recent videos, with the Hardcore 6v6 face-off, that's the best place to go to complete any sort of challenge in the game, I believe. And this setup right here will show just exactly, in my opinion, the best method to unlocking all these camos. So for the class setup, primary obviously has to be the M60, secondary whatever you want. Tactical, I like the stun grenade the best out of all of them. Lethal, Semtex is my favorite out of all of them. Field upgrade, I like the field mic. I know a lot of people like to use the jammer, but for some reason the jammer doesn't count towards the challenges for me, so that's why I prefer the field mic. Even in hardcore, you don't have a mini map, but it doesn't matter as long as this thing's down and you're getting kills in the vicinity of it. It's still going to count, so it's not going to change much. For wall cards, usually I go with perk greed, but as we're using a light machine gun and the smaller maps, I want to put as many attachments on this thing and make it just as overpowered as I can, just to make it a little bit more snappy and fast to keep up with some of the light machine gun or submachine guns and assault rifles and shotguns that most people run. For the perks, we want a flak jacket. I find that more people use grenades than the tacticals, but if you are in a match, you know, where people are throwing more tacticals than they are grenades and Semtex and whatnot, you can just swap those two out. Perk 2, gearhead. That's just going to help you get your field mic or your field upgrade, whatever it is you're using, just a little bit faster. And like I said, was one of the challenges needing, you to have basically a field mic down. Gearhead is the best option. And then finally, for perk 3, it's gung ho. That's just going to help you be able to reload while you're running and run at full speed, and be able to shoot while you're running and all that stuff. So it just helps you be a little bit more able to move around the map, especially in the smaller maps. You want to stay moving, just because it will spawn people behind you. So try to be as agile as you can. And then finally, for the gun class that I used here, the attachments, the optic, I like the axial arms 3x scope. That's slowly becoming one of my favorite scopes to use in the game. This is going to help see people a little bit easier, especially when they're trying to hide behind things, or if you are trying to cross map someone for long shots. This will help, but it also is good for up close too. It's not hard to see anybody out of it. For the muzzle, I put the infantry compensator on. This is going to help with your vertical recoil control. Being a light machine gun with a lot of rounds, it's going to kick pretty hard at the cost of horizontal recoil control, but we're going to put an attachment on here that's going to help with that. So this is, in my opinion, the best option. For the barrel, we went with the 17.5 inch SOR cut down barrel. That's going to help with your shooting movement speed. This is just going to help so you can, again, stay agile, stay moving, and just keep going around mowing people down at the cost of effective damage range. But you're playing hardcore in a small map, that's not going to make a difference. For the body, I just went with a steady aim laser. It just increases your hip fire accuracy, which LMGs for some reason have a great hip fire accuracy anyways. But if you could bump that up a little bit more, why not? And I mean, you have an extra attachment if you're using the perk or the wild card that I'm using, so you can throw whatever you want on there, but I just go with this one. For the underbarrel, you're going to put the foregrip on. This is going to help with your horizontal recoil control. Like I said earlier, with that one attachment, it's going to kind of negate that a little bit, but this is going to help boost that right back up. And this is going to help the side-to-side recoil, which is kind of hard to control at times. The magazine, I went with the 100 round speed mag. 100 rounds in a light machine gun, especially in the small maps, is plenty. You shouldn't really ever have to reload, because more than likely you'll end up dying before you need to. But just in case there is a time where you are in the back of their spawn and they're all coming in, and having that 100 rounds is nice. You're not going to be halfway through mowing down a team and have to reload. It just kind of gives you a little bit more versatility to play with. For the handle, went with the serpent wrap. This is going to help with your aim down sight time. Being an LMG, you want to be able to get this big thing up as fast as possible, so that's why we went with that. And then finally, for the stock, we went with the Raider stock. This is going to help with the sprint to fire time and aim walking movement speed. Just going to make it, again, more versatile. The light machine guns, you want them to be as agile and versatile as possible, especially playing in the smaller maps at the cost of hip fire accuracy. But that's where that steady aim laser is going to come into hand, and also Like I said, the LMGs have a pretty good hip fire box anyway, so you're really not gonna have too many downsides to this weapon right here. For the camos for spray, it's just get 300 eliminations with the M60. This is natural, gonna come over time. Stripes, just get 100 headshots. This one will also just be natural and just come over time. Especially in hardcore, you shouldn't never have to really focus on this. For classic, just get 5 kills without dying 20 times. Well, all kills come from the M60. Basically, just get bloodthirsties. If you do get 10 kills in one life with this, that'll count as 2. If you can manage to get 15 in one life, that'll count as 3, so on and so forth. Being a light machine gun with that many rounds, you just basically got to, if you're up close enough, spray and pray and hope that they don't hit you first. Shouldn't be an issue though. The light machine guns for me were rather simple, especially playing the hardcore face-off now that's out. I've used a lot of these weapons in there just to see how well they play. And in those smaller maps, often you can get into their spawn, and when they first spawn in, everybody knows you have to rechamber around. You can mow them down. For geometric, it just get 50 long shot medals. There are spots in the 6v6 face-off that you can get long shots if you are having trouble in a couple of those, because it's only maybe like 2, maybe 3 maps that got viable options for long shots. Just go to Nuketown. I mean, that's the best way to go. For Flora, just kill 75 enemies detected, stunned, or blinded by your score streaks, equipment, or field upgrades. In the face-off, there is no score streaks, so that's where the gearhead and field mic's going to come in handy. I've said this before, maps like ICBM, you just pop it right in the middle, and as long as it doesn't get blown up, every single kill is going to count towards this. So I want to say one match I got like 25 or 30 or something like that in one match. It's pretty good to use in my opinion. For science, just shoot and kill 50 enemies taking cover from you in multiplayer. And the face-off modes, there's a lot of cover, so this one shouldn't be too much of an issue. A lot of players are going to be trying to head glitch behind a lot of the stuff, especially like maps like Amsterdam, when they try to sit across the rooftops or flank the sides. They'll often be in windows or off to the side of that one rooftop, and just kind of sit back and pick players off like that, and you should be able to knock this one out no problem. And then finally for psychedelic, get 2 or more kills rapidly 25 times, basically double kills. 6v6 hardcore face-off, again, I'm telling you that mode is just the best for any challenge in the game. So many people running around, the double kills shouldn't be an issue by any means at all to unlock this. Pretty, like I said, pretty overall pretty decent gun. Out of the 4 light machine guns, in my opinion, it's the weakest one, but again, does not mean that it's a bad gun by any means. I just think the other ones handle a little bit better in their own different rights, but overall solid weapon right here. And once you unlock all the camos, you unlock the gold. When you get gold for all the LMGs, well, only 3 of them you need gold for, but you unlock diamond. Diamond doesn't cover shit on this, so I don't really care for it. DM Ultra and gold I think look the best. Gold I'm not really a fan of in this Call of Duty, but DM Ultra I think looks pretty decent on there. But that's all for this gun right here. If you guys did find it at all informative, please feel free to give it a like. And if you want to see me continue doing weapons like this in the future, please give my channel a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.